Okay, Dayton City Commission meeting will now come to order. Please rise for the invocation, remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance, and this morning, invocation will be given by Commissioner Fairchild.
Let's pray. Oh, gracious one, we come with grateful hearts. We give you thanks for the opportunity to serve the city. We give you thanks for our citizens. We give you thanks for family and friends. We pray for traveling mercies for those who may be traveling this holiday season. And for those who are vulnerable, are in need, or feel like they have nothing to be grateful for, may they find in us generous friends. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, Ms. Blackshear, may I have the roll call, please?
Mayor Mims.
Aye.
Commissioner Joseph.
Aye.
Shaw.
Aye.
Fairchild.
Aye.
Turner-Sloss. Aye.
Okay. May I have a motion then to approve the minutes from the November 20th meeting?
So moved, John.
Second the motion, Your Honor.
And probably moved and seconded to approve the minutes from the November 20th meeting. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed say no. Okay, Ms. Blackshear, do you have any communications or petitions?
There are none, Your Honor.
Okay, I know we have a presentation this morning. I know we're all looking forward to it. Okay, so we have a presentation this morning from Mr. Steve Gondo, Director of Planning, Neighborhoods and Development, and he will provide an update on the monthly demolition.
All right. Good morning, Mayor, Commissioners.
Morning, sir.
Assistant City Manager and Clerk. All right. Thank you for having me again. Steve Gondel, Director for the Department of Planning, Neighbors and Development, with your October 2024 demolition activity update. So last month, we actually had a pretty quiet month. We only had about 5 demolitions. And again, this is the transition of winding down the first phase of a lot of those demolition contracts as we gear up for the 300 plus that you have been approving that come in 2025. All 5 of those demolitions last month were ARPA funded. That brings our total to date for 2024 to 189 demolitions, with 2 months to go in the year. Our pile issue, as of September, we had 85. We were able to remove 3 of them in October. Unfortunately, we had 6 added last month as well, either through fire or structural fail. So that's putting us about 88 piles remaining. And I have some better news on that at the end.
Okay.
Those piles, you can see these emergency demolitions were, no rhyme or reason, but kind of mostly in the northwest part of the city. Several were, there was a spree of activity, I would say, not Lincoln ending, but in the northwest there, we had, within a week or two, we had about 3 or 4, either a day or so apart. So kind of looking, addressing those, but continuing to, obviously try to track that and get a plan for 2025 on how we're going to manage this, the removal and the growth of these piles. Our October work, as I mentioned, you'll see that we had most of our work was up in the Main Street corridor. Our work to date, again, you'll see between the ARPA funding and the ODOD, General Fund, and CDBG, most communities are being impacted positively by the removal of these structures and piles throughout the city. So while we focus on ARPA, I just always like to bring it back that this work is reaching many of our neighborhoods throughout the city because the other funding allows us greater latitude as to where we can work. In October, we had 14 more structures added, and again, some of those are fire damage structures that didn't require a emergency demolition, but now have placed them in the structural nuisance, and that was a contributor. And I would say, as we approach the winter time, we're also, we kind of have a fear, as to where that number might go, because again, that is a reason for some of these new additions is that they're fire damaged. So we then start that process where the owners have to work with us if it can be rehabilitated, going through our special service inspection and working with our building services and housing teams to repair those structures that were damaged. Fortunately, some of those have insurance, so it makes that process a little bit easier. Our pipeline, as I mentioned, we're kind of winding down. We only had about 6 surveys. Again, the 300 plus that we'll have coming in 25, we'll start ramping this process back up as we prepare those structures for removal. The before and afters, you'll see here 2513-15 North Main, really significant deterioration, as well as with 261 Santa Clara. 2628 Santa Clara. So I know that this part of town has really been reaching out for services. And so as you can see, this is what we had promised. After we moved from that first phase of ARPA, we'd be kind of taking that step out. And that's where we are right now. We're now in that first band outside of Five Oaks, Old North Dayton, moving into Santa Clara, Riverside area. 1408 North Main, as you can see, that the former Grub Steak, and now, again, odd that we'd say an empty lot, it's an improvement, but it at least gives a start for a new opportunity. 38-40 Fountain, and then 355 Kenwood, again, just considerable deterioration on these properties. And so removing them, and I always feel like if you look at the top, that Fountain, that house just seems to glow on the right there with that blight removed. And I guess that's always what I come back to is the impact it has on the adjacent neighbor who's been living next to that, and finally their house, their fence, to kind of really reflect the pride they have in their home and the detriment that house was causing. So as I mentioned, we have another contract coming forward in December. It is an ARPA contract for 35 piles. And so I just appreciate your ongoing support of us. And this is, again, I give credit to our staff. We had our Dayton Recovery Plan update with the management budget staff, and we are, I think, within $5,000 of using all of our allocation. So the staff was creative on this contract coming forward. There were some savings in some previous contingency contracts, and so we were able to assemble this other 35 true pile on the ground contract. So I give kudos to them because we challenged them to say, we have this, I think kind of looking at this every month and looking at, our progress with removing piles and our setbacks removing is, can we find enough money? Because the piles often are more expensive because of the total haul out, but they were able to find, to kind of assemble bits and pieces of money of other contracts to put that one together to get at least 35 more piles. So when that comes forward, I will appreciate your support again as we move into a really robust 2025, which I am looking at. It's going to be over 300 properties affected. So, and with that, I will stop and open up for any questions and comments.
Okay, really appreciate your presentation. Questions? Commissioner Turner-Sloss.
Yes, thank you. Good morning. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Something I always look forward to at the end of the month. Ms. Lofton, if possible, could we please have a hard copy of the presentation from this morning?
Sure.
Please extend our gratitude and appreciation to the entire department, the entire staff. The other question, Ms. Lofton, that I have is, as we're starting to make way with our aggressive demolition way forward, do we have a plan in place, or perhaps it's a sidebar conversation for us to have in terms of the adjacent property owners, for them to take ownership of the parcels or the lots themselves that have been demolished, the structures on those parcels that have been demolished, so that we then too can have those lots back in committed to the tax roll? Sorry.
No
Yes.
problem. And yes, there is a process in place that allows the staff in planning to contact
Okay.
and reach out to property owners to see whether or not if we own them.
Right.
If they're still under someone else's ownership, that's a little more tenuous work for the property owner. But if we have possession of the property, there is a means by which they can go and try and obtain that property.
Are we still underway and executing or implementing the pilot program that we, okay.
Yes.
All right, very good. Thank you.
You're
Thank you again.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Appreciate it. And happy Thanksgiving.
Same.
Thank you. Commissioner Fairchild.
Yeah, no, thank you for this report. Look forward, as Ms. Lofton said, look forward to it every month. It's really helpful. Ms. Lofton, I didn't know if we could get an update on what we're doing to try to mitigate these fires that are creating the fire piles, because having sit here now, seeing this report, it seems like we're averaging at least 3 a month. I don't know if that's the right average, so it'd be great to know what that average is. But if it's 3 a month we're averaging, that's like $1.5 million of expense we're occurring a year. And I know fire and planning have been looking at this. I just didn't know if there's something else we can do, because if we could somehow slow that down, it would certainly help move us in the right direction quicker. So,
Ms. Dixon, she did provide
Yes.
us with a memo on that.
Okay.
yeah. But great work. And
Thank you.
Thanksgiving, and great work to your team for finding the additional
Yeah.
dollars to getting the pennies out of the couch, right?
They're good.
Yeah.
They're good. 5,000 remaining on the table isn't the worst problem. So
Yeah.
thank you for acknowledging that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Commissioner Fairchild, Chief Weiss and Deputy Chief Henderson and I had a news conference about 2 weeks ago, talking about specifically the same thing and asking the citizens if they saw something strange to let us know to call so we can address that issue, because, again, we felt the same exact thing in terms of talking about how we can minimize those situations and not putting any more of our police officers as well as firemen in harm's way, because there's a risk of life every time we have to deal with the fire, et cetera. So again, thank you for reminding us, but just to let you know we've done that.
Sure,
And we'll
I saw
continue-
the press
yeah,
conference,
Yeah, continue to do more in that space.
And I know we're doing more, and
Yeah.
I'd just like to have a
Yeah.
comprehensive understanding of what we're doing,
Yep, that's good.
and to see if we
Okay,
can
Commissioner Shaw.
look at other cities to see if they're doing other things to help mitigate this.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a $1.5 million expense.
No, I'm good. Thank you for your work.
Thank you.
Commissioner Joseph?
Thank you very much. Good
Appreciate
work.
it. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you all.
Okay, Ms. Blackshear, do you have any additions or deletions or comments to the calendar?
I have none, Your Honor.
Okay, Ms. Lofton, any additions, deletions, or comments to the calendar?
Your Honor, with no additions or deletions to this morning's calendar, I would like to highlight another project funded through the Dayton Recovery Plan. Item A2 is a service agreement with App Architecture, and this will provide for professional facility assessment services, design and construction services, initially for just 2 fire stations, Station 15, which is over 45 years old, constructed, and Station 16, which is 70 years. And the rationale for what we have going forward is that we hope to be able to do renovate and update and upgrade at least 4 fire stations a year. So we're starting with these 2. The strategic thought here is that we start at opposite ends of the city so that we, as those renovations are underway, we minimize the impact and the disruption to the crews, but also then it lowers any impact to service delivery. So we are excited to get this underway. As police has announced new stations, fire had to get in the game, and so we are excited to be able to start to upgrade and update those services for both the firefighters and the staffing at those facilities, but also for our community as well. So
That's it?
that's it.
Okay. All right. Ms. Blackshear, do you have any citizens who are registered to speak
There are
on
none,
calendar
Your
items? Okay. Commissioners, comments on calendar items.
I
Commissioner
have
Turner-Sloss.
none. I have none, Your Honor.
Have none? Commissioner Fairchild.
I have none.
You have none?
No.
None? Okay, then I'll accept the motion then to approve the city manager's recommendations.
I move to approve the city manager's recommendation.
Second motion, Your Honor.
Okay, it's been probably moved and seconded to approve the city manager's recommendations. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed say no. Okay, thank you. Legislation, please, Ms. Blackshear.
First reading, emergency ordinance number 32126-24, to provide for the issuance and sale of bonds in an amount not to exceed $3,010,000.00 for the purpose of providing funds for remodeling, rehabilitating, adding to, furnishing, and equipping a municipal golf course, including upgrading the irrigation control system, upgrading cart paths, and renovating clubhouses, together with all necessary appurtenances, authorizing and approving related matters, and declaring an emergency.
Your Honor, ordinance number 32126-24 being declared an emergency, I move for its immediate passage.
Second, Your Honor.
Okay, it's been probably moved and seconded to have ordinance number 32126 declared an emergency. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no.
First reading emergency resolution number 6840-24, approving the submission of a grant application for the state fiscal year 2025 Ohio Airport Grant Program to the Ohio Department of Transportation, Office of Aviation, authorizing the acceptance of a grant from the State of Ohio Department of Transportation, Office of Aviation, in an amount not to exceed $513,816.00 on behalf of the City of Dayton and declaring an emergency.
Your Honor, being declared an emergency, I move for the immediate passage of resolution number 6840-24.
Second the motion, Your Honor.
Okay, it's been probably moved and seconded to have resolution number 6840-24 declared an emergency. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. Thank you.
First reading ordinance number 32127-24, amending section 152.02 of the revised Code of General Ordinances concerning definitions of public nuisances. Second reading ordinance number 32122-24, repealing ordinance number 31548-17 and replacing with the following to expand the eligible development activities for certain real estate purposes to eliminate blight and facilitate redevelopment. Mayor Mims.
Aye.
Joseph.
Aye.
Shaw.
Aye.
Fairchild.
Aye.
Turner-Sloss.
Aye.
Second reading ordinance number 32123-24, consenting to the epoxy overlay on bridge decks on Interstate Route 75, 10.44, SFN 5707056, and Interstate Route 75, 10.78, SFN 5707080 in the City of Dayton, and agreeing to cooperate in matters incidental thereto, including the execution of an agreement necessary to implement this ordinance. Mayor Mims.
Aye.
Commissioner Joseph.
Aye.
Shaw.
Aye.
Fairchild.
Aye.
Turner-Sloss.
Aye.
Second reading ordinance number 32124-24, consenting to the painting of the bridge superstructures on various bridges in Montgomery County, including MOT-35-1607R, MOT-35-1654L, MOT-35-1672N, MOT-35-1690, MOT-35-1704, MOT-35-1827 within the City of Dayton, and agreeing to cooperate in matters incidental thereto, including the execution of an agreement necessary to implement this ordinance. Mayor Mims.
Aye.
Commissioner Joseph.
Aye.
Shaw.
Aye.
Fairchild.
Aye.
Turner-Sloss.
Aye.
Second reading ordinance number 32125-24, to vacate Brennan Drive from Hall Avenue to East Helena Street and Hall Avenue from Brennan Drive to North Kiowee Street. Mayor Mims.
Aye.
Commissioner Joseph.
Aye.
Shaw.
Aye.
Fairchild.
Aye.
Turner-Sloss.
Aye.
That is all I have, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, Commissioner Turner-Sloss, and we have a board appointment.
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. I move to reappoint Mr. Stan Hurdle to the Board of Housing Appeals for a term ending September 30, 2027.
Second the motion, Your Honor.
Okay, it's been probably moved and seconded to reappoint Stanley Erdl to the Board of Housing Appeals for a term ending September 30th, 2027. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. Okay, thank you. Okay, Ms. Blackshear, do we have any citizens who are registered to speak?
There are none, Your Honor.
Okay. Ms. Lofton, do you have any closing comments?
Yes, on behalf of City Manager Dickstein and Deputy City Manager Parlett, I would like to wish all of our City of Dayton team members, yourselves, our partners, the Dayton community, a healthy, safe, and enjoyable Thanksgiving holiday.
Okay.
Same to you.
Thank you very much. Okay, Commissioners, closing comments. Commissioner Turner-Sloss.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Ms. Lofton. I echo your sentiments and thanking the staff and the entire administration, and to your point, wishing everyone a happy and safe Thanksgiving holiday and safe travels and rest up as we come to a close at the end of the year. And then I would like to encourage everyone to come out for Friday's festivities. I believe they begin at 3 p.m., if I'm not mistaken.
3 p.m., dress warm, dress warm.
Yes, dress warm. There are a number of events that will take place downtown Dayton. And then the only other thing that I would like to mention as well, calendar item number 9, ordinance number 32127-24. I would just like to commend the staff, the planning and neighborhood development staff, as well as the law department for adding that amending section 152.02 and adding those additional definitions to the public nuisances. So I'm glad to see that before us. And the other thing I would like to mention as well is to congratulate Ms. Kim Williams for her leadership, acting as the president for the Realist. The gala was this past weekend. It was well attended. And the new incoming president, which is Ms. Tracy Martin. And also, we have to acknowledge the Vision of Hope, or the Hope Gala from
Yes.
Omega CDC that was too well attended this past Tuesday. So it was full of events last week. So again, happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Okay. Commissioner Fairchild.
Yeah, I want to encourage people, if you are in the market for an EV, now is the time to buy. There's a lot of incentives at the end of the year, but the $7,500 tax credit for eligible U.S.-made or supplied cars. And not confident that tax credit will be there. And they take it right off the top of the dealer. So great opportunity to buy that EV if you've been thinking about it and help us reach some of our sustainability goals here in the city. This month is Indigenous Peoples Month. WYSO has a great podcast called Ohio Country that tells the history of the indigenous nations that were here in Ohio and this area. I encourage you to give that a listen. I think it's a 10-episode podcast. I've just started into it, and it's really helpful to remind us of those people whose land that we live upon, and the legacy that and the gratitude that we owe them. Today on the radio, I heard the 100th woman is going into space, and that just surprised me. I didn't realize there had been that many people who had gone in space to begin with, and that 100 women have gone, and so I found that a remarkable stat, and so it's something to be grateful and thankful for. And I would just like to add my invitation to come out on Friday to the Grand Illumination and the Children's Parade, and to echo our gratitude for our staff and our citizens, and wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you. Commissioner Shaw.
Thank you for that. I would like everyone to join me this Saturday, November 30th, for Shop Small Saturday, and show your support for the small businesses that keep our community going in Dayton. I'll be at Val's Bakery from 12 to 12:50, so stop by and say hello, and we'll make sure that we have a big impact on this community. Also, again, as always, the AFL-CIO and Building Trades apprenticeship applications are available at the City Commission offices. There's a deadline of January 17th to apply, and I hope everybody takes advantage of this great opportunity. And happy Thanksgiving to everyone.
Okay. Thank you. Commissioner Joseph.
Thank you, Mayor. First, I want to thank our leaf pickup crews who have been very busy throughout the city. They've done a great job. I did my neighborhood this last week, followed up by a street sweeper coming by and getting the rest of it. The streets look great. I really want to commend them. And just to remind folks of their innovation, the tools that they're using to do the leaf pickup, they created. I'm really proud of our city's innovation and the fact that we figured out how to do it in a much cheaper way than we had before, and we're able to reinstate it. So thank you to the crews. Thank you to the city manager's staff. Second, I want to encourage folks to show up this Friday. As has been said, the Grand Illumination is always a good time. Make sure you bundle up, but it's really nice to see everybody. It feels like that's the day that we're the region's family room, right? Everybody comes.
Yep.
We enjoy the festivities of the season, some good food, some good things for the kids to do. I hope you all come out and join us this Friday evening. Last, I want to sort of piggyback on something, Commissioner, you said too, is we are, as a city, investing money in electric vehicle chargers And we're focusing on multifamily housing and putting them in near where people might not have a garage to charge. So we're making sure that if you have an electric vehicle and you don't live in like a standalone house with a garage, you still have a place to charge it up. So we're focused on that. I'm proud of our work to make sure that these are accessible to all and move us toward our climate goals. And along those lines, we're also, we're continuing our city's aggregation program, which means that you have competitive rates for electricity, and it's clean, green electricity. It's not old carbon-based. We've saved over the last couple of years a little over $100 probably per resident for an average resident per bill, or for over these last 2 years. So proud of that program. Finally, another new grant coming up next year. I mentioned a couple of them last week. There's a new climate resilience grant that's going to be available coming up just after the turn of the year for nonprofits and neighborhood groups with climate projects. So there'll be more details coming. Just want to let people know it's on the horizon. If your neighborhood or your nonprofit is interested in that sort of work, we may have some help for you. And Thanksgiving to all, or happy Thanksgiving to all. I appreciate it.
Okay, thank you. We've talked often about the aspect of the way we move closer and closer to being a middle-class city is to have more and more of our citizens, and especially for our younger people, to be employed. And while we have been trying to push and pull the schools closer together with some of the business leaders, more and more of that is happening. Doing a survey now to look at some of the type of high-tech jobs and quality jobs that we have in the city of Dayton, and trying to help make those connections so we can have those strong conversations with the school system, so some of the young people will have a better idea of what direction the city is going as far as employment is concerned. So that's a very good move on behalf of the city, and a very good move on behalf of the businesses and schools that are supporting us, and I'd like to wish our young people the best of luck as they move in that direction. Additionally, much has been said about Friday, and I guess, as I mentioned, my main concern is the weather. I think that's going to be the coldest day that we've had this year. So we will have, I'm sure, the hand warmers and toe warmers and those things that you can do your best to stay warm. There are going to be several new bands. Some of the Dayton Public School bands, I think Dunbar and Belmont, will be performing for the first time. So, again, looking forward to a lot of good things, a lot of good fun, a lot of good food that's out there as well. And with no further business to come before this commission, this meeting is adjourned.